Yo, what up, fam? It's your boy Chef J. I'm out here with two super dope, amazing women out here, guys. So like and share this feed on Instagram and Facebook. Like and share this feed. Well, actually on Facebook, actually, and on YouTube. All right, so guys, we're doing the first session of Boss Up Bootcamp, guys. So like and share this feed. Get your questions ready as well too, because we're gonna get into some really good conversation with these two ladies here today. With Boss Up. So with the first one, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're supposed to be in the same place, but we're gonna do is we're doing it virtual for this one time because we want to kind of have the conversation about what it means to be a boss and entrepreneurship in this type of setting. Because I think we've all been in business, and we had all the years of all of us on this platform have been in business. It's been wait, Monique, you got how many years, Monique?
35.
35. I'm 22. What about you, Shonda?
8.
8. So that's about almost like 60 years worth of business experience that it's gonna be real good tonight. All right. So guys, once again, like and share this feed. I have the one and only Tashonda Carson on here, owner of She Rocks Decor, and the legend herself of New Jersey and abroad, Miss Monique Technique, who has been the queen of the hair world for the longest and is always doing so many dope stuff as philanthropist. No. You might gotta see the word for it, Monique.
Philanthropy.
Yes, that's the word right there, fam. So listen, now first off, I want to just start with let's start with Tashonda first. First question to Tashonda is, we know your business name is She Rocks Decor, but what made you want to become an entrepreneur?
Well, it's always been a dream of mine to become an entrepreneur, and it actually started off really relatively young. And my aunt and family members investing in me just to see exactly what direction I wanted to go in. And in the beginning, it was hair. Cosmetology was my first love, and then I just ventured off from there and started event planning.
That's really dope. And now I'm gonna send the same question to Monique. What made you want to get in the hair business? Because we had this conversation last night, so I think it's gonna be really good. How we talked about this part. So some people may not notice, but Monique Techniques, how did you get involved with the hair industry?
Okay. Well, I am a high school graduate, but I knew I did not want to go to college. And so, my mom wasn't having it, me laying up, doing nothing. And then my uncle and my sister had a salon in Bayonne. And my uncle used to travel all over the world, doing hair for They Ain't Misbehaving and Bubbling Brown Sugar. And I could just remember when he used to come home, he used to just treat us and give us some money. So everybody knew he was making like good money, right? So I was just like, let me try this hair thing. I said, let me see. I had no idea. Like, it wasn't my dream to do hair. You know how when you're younger, you're doing hair and stuff, you're doing it. It wasn't like that. But I was a senior in high school, and I knew I had to make a decision fast. And I just decided to do the hair thing. And I liked it. I liked it. It worked for me. I was working for several places, Ted's on Jackson Avenue, and then I went to Soul Scissors. And then I was real prosperous. I was making a lot of money at the age of 20, 21. Like, I was rolling. And these people was taking all my money. I was like, oh my God, I can't. But anyway, that's how Monique Techniques came in about. Well, me and my uncle, because my mother would not give me any money. She would not help me because, I was out running, hanging out, doing me, enjoying life at 19, 20. So I had to do it with my Uncle Tyrone, who I love dearly. So he was my partner in my first 6 years in business.
That's super dope. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So next question, ladies. This question is, what has been some of your biggest obstacles as an entrepreneur? All right, let's start with Tashonda. What has been some of your biggest obstacles as an entrepreneur? And we have this conversation a lot of times as well too. With I'll let you go ahead. You go ahead and answer. I won't give a hint about what we'll be talking about. So
Well, one of my biggest obstacles is you hear this one in the background.
we, she's being a
Well,
part-time mom right now.
yes, being a part-time mom right now to someone that's acting real cranky right now. So go to
So
Monique.
we're gonna put you on pause right now for the part-time mom crew about this. Shout out to all the moms who are doing their hardest right now, taking care of these kids. So Monique, what has been some of your biggest obstacles as an entrepreneur?
I honestly I hate to make it seem like I really never really had no big issues, but I really didn't. I always had great workers. Um, I always required, get educated, learn the latest styles, the latest techniques, my staff. Overall, they were all great. Maybe me being my own obstacle, not
That's good.
doing business like I wish I could have done it in the beginning of being a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
In my 35 years, like the first 5, 10, when you don't go to business school and you really don't know stuff and you don't know, you're just doing it the way you just rocking it the way you can rock it. You know what I mean? Money was flowing good. But I wish I could have done things differently as far as the business part of it for myself. Like later on, 10, 12 years later, I really consider myself as becoming a real businesswoman, as far as
Yeah.
handling my business part of it. Because anybody can make money, money come and go, especially my type
Yeah.
of business. So, but as far as that, it's just me being hard on my own self, wishing I could have handled my business more business likely in the beginning of me being in business. But overall, I really don't have an obstacles. Like I said, I always had great workers. And business has always been great. Maybe because I think back then there wasn't really a lot of beauty salons.
Mm.
So it just I just skyrocket. I guess, God has blessed me. He has blessed me.
And so I think that's a good response. It's a couple things I got from what you said. And I feel like that as well too. Like I don't have there a lot of crazy obstacles. I think one thing about all of us on this platform, we are people who roll with the punches, right? It's just like you can give us an apple. We'll make apple pie out of it. We make apple sangria. We'll do whatever we got to do with what we have, because I just think too is we come from a city that makes you strong, Jersey City. First off, second of all, we're just hard workers. So it's just that I feel like when it comes to obstacles, we just know how to get the lemonade out of the lemons. And I think that was a great response what you said too. And I think another thing that you said that was really cool about your great workers, Mo, you sow into so many people. So it's not just workers to you. This is your family, and you take pride in taking care of I don't say your workers, but it's more so like your business partners, because you treat them in a way where they don't feel like employees, but they feel a part of a community. And I think that's why so many people really always pay homage to you, even if they left your salon. First of all, you always big them up, no matter where they are, and you still give them that respect. And I think a lot of people in business don't do that. They feel like, oh, they're my competition. And that's the thing I always appreciate about you. You will big up anybody. You'll make sure what credit is due, they're gonna get that credit. All right. So going back over to Shonda. All right. So what has been some or one of your biggest obstacles as an entrepreneur?
Well, the main one for me right now is just finding the help.
Yeah.
Finding employees that really want to put in and dedicate themselves, especially in the event planning industry, where your weekends, like they're pretty much for business. So trying to find individuals that will give up their weekends to assist and help in any shape, fashion, or form that they can. So that's the biggest obstacle for me, is just finding the employees to assist.
And I think that's really good, because Shoshana, we talk about that all the time, where so the good thing about the people I've mentored them since 16, so they have a brand loyalty towards me, and I know, Monique, a lot of people that come to you as well, you're able to create that mentorship through the hair business, but just have people who are there to be hands on deck. And it's just like, fam, and Tashonda, you pay good. That's why I'm like, I know some people that work for you, so I know you pay good. It's not the lack of funds, because I'm like, Shonda, you pay more than me, and you be like really good with these people out here. You be sending them Ubers and come pick them up from work, and I'm like, man, out here. But I think
a lot of the time, Chef, they don't even I don't require them to come to my storage to help me load up or anything. So you're meeting me on site. That's all I require. Meet me on site, assist me. And a lot of times I break down by myself.
Yeah. And you have
So
four huge so you have two houses that has stuff. Then you have three, is it four garages or three storage units?
one garage and 3 storage units.
So that's just a lot of stuff. Whenever that's my plug, that's my event planning plug. So when I need stuff, I call it. I gotta provide shrimp and grits, but let me tell you, I'm gonna have everything that I need. But the cool part about it is, it's just that I think in this society it is definitely hard to find reliable people sometimes, especially in that industry. But I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, with Shonda, you really work for like 3 hours and you get paid for a whole day. So if anybody looking for a job out there, hit up She Rocks the Core, because she gonna make sure you taken care of.
Email me, info@sherocksthecore.com.
That's the plug right there. Okay, so now I have another question for you, ladies. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about faith, because we all believe in faith, and we have certain practices that always keep us going. So the question, and we'll start with Monique this time: how has faith impacted your business?
Well, pretty much, what I want to do, I set my mind to it through the grace of God, and I just do it. Like, I'm not a negative person. I hate negativity. You know what I mean? So as far as my business, I just feel like you just got to just do right by people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with your business and service, we servicing people regardless of what, regardless of how our day is. When you get to that door, you just got to have a smile on your face and be good to people. And that's my belief. Just having a smile on your face and being good to people, treating people how you want to be treated. That's my motto all day, every day. I don't do everything perfect and I don't do everything right, but I try.
Right.
I try, and I can uphold it when I'm doing wrong. Because in this business, it's just a lot. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
talking, and so you just got to be real mindful. I know I might be going off the course, but as far as me being a business owner, I believe what has helped me is just being nice to people, and just you having a nice personality and just treating people how you want to be treated. It's so simple, and that's that.
And first of all, you're in the beauty industry, so you make people feel beautiful from the first conversation. First off, Monique is going to find every adjective in the book to give you a compliment, and but it's true. Like I remember the first day I met Monique. I've heard of Monique, but I never met her, and this when I was selling dinners. So they called because I think it was Miss Lewis or Miss Joey that had said that this is a chef that sell food, and this had to be maybe like almost like 10, 12 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, maybe a little more than that. And when Monique first called the place to order, and she was like, listen, honey, you make sure your food is good. We'll always support you. It was the love from the first conversation, but it was that correction if I ain't come up there in that beauty salon with that good food, but that built a long lasting relationship. When I first came into to your salon, you were the first person in there, of course, that I meet. And you have, first of all, it's Pat, but you always make time for people. Everybody got a compliment. Everybody felt good about themselves. And I think that's the reason why I always appreciate our phone conversations, because one, Monique's going to give you the real business, and she's going to do it in such a loving way that it's just like, you want to be around Monique Technique, because you already know Monique, you're going to get some good advice. You're going to get some laughs in, and you're going to feel even more beautiful than when you first came in. All right. So I always appreciate about you, Mo. And definitely you always do good for people. And we'll get into all the good work you do in the community. So now to Shonda, how has faith impacted your business?
It impacted mine tremendously, because I don't know where I would be without believing, trusting, and just being open to new things, new people, new adventures, and just having, prayer. That's all. It's very impactful. It's very impactful, because I know a lot of days I would come home and say, you know what, I give up. I'm not doing this again. I don't want to do it again. It's too much on my body. I'm aching. I'm hurting. I have a full-time job already. So what am I doing?
Yeah.
And it's the love you have for your passion. So you want to continue and you want to keep going no matter what the obstacles are. And just keeping God first and making sure that I stay prayed up keeping my faith. That's it.
That was a good thing you said about being prayed up and staying in prayer, because honestly,
Yes.
with clients, first off, we're like a first line of defense. Because first off, we know sometimes we do need the resources from the client, right? Then you get to the level is like that. I don't gotta take it. I don't even want your money, fam, because you're doing a little too much. Because some clients can just act out, and we already know the vibe with that one. And I think too is we always have to have that face where it's just like you can't penetrate that. And prayer is a big thing that helps us. That's like our bodyguard, like because some people want to snap on, some employees you want to have like, listen, like, why don't you get it? But when you say in prayer, it does keep you, it gives you peace, it help you keep your sanity.
Yes.
And I just really know that without prayer, like, honestly, because today I felt like giving up with certain things, and that's like a once a week situation. Like, I'm calling Monique and Shonda, can you believe what X, Y, and Z just did? But you know what? Then it's just like, let's go into the next conversation, and I think it's gonna be it kind of piggybacks off of this. How important is it to have business friends that you can vent to about these crazy clients and employees? So the question is, how important is it to have business friends or to have people that can be, your safe zone when it comes to your business? And let's start with Monique on this question.
It's I'm not gonna lie, like, I have a lot of friends, okay? A lot of friends, ones that say they're my friends, they're really not my. I don't even really care, like, because I just love people. So if you okay, you do me good, good by me, you're all right with me. You know what I mean? But as far as the business part of it, like, I do have one or two or three maybe I can speak to, but the friends clients thing, they don't. You said clients, right? Friends?
It's clients, some
Yeah.
employees, like, because sometimes they try you, and they don't even know they trying you. They just have this energy, and sometimes you just gotta vent,
Well, I
or
think, yeah, I think today, I have two young ladies that are awesome, but back in the day when I might have like little things going, nothing, never nothing bad, but because I always talk to my girls or guys, and I would always just be 100. Like, if I didn't like it, they didn't like it. I had a stylist just told me the other day, why she left me from 10 years ago. And I'm like, okay, it's okay.
You've been holding on to that, fam?
Yeah, but I guess it was just something she might have been going through, but I appreciated it. You know what I mean? Because at first it was just like 10 years, like, really, like, I can't even think back. I can't even think back all 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Okay, how about last week? So for me, I just like handle things right then and there. I vent a little bit, more so. It's just hard, like, because no one really understands it. Of course, your friends, your family, the hairstylists, that's they definitely help, but that's hard because I always say, we never have nobody to talk to. You have the boss, she got the worker, the assistant, the cleanup person, the receptionist, but the hairdressers or the bosses be like, it's hard to find people on your same page to just really can relate.
Right.
For me it is, but I don't let too many things get to me. Like, I have, as long as I get it out, I don't like holding stuff where I gotta vent and be like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I think that's why I just have like a little piece of me, because if something bothers me, I like to just express it and tell them or tell the person, or whether it's business or not. I never want a client to feel mistreated. I just try to make everybody feel good. I mean, like I said, I'm not perfect, but I try to just treat people like I want to be treated. And as far as the venting part, I don't do too much of that. If I'm venting, it's because something happened right then and there, and I'm going to just tell you about it, and I'm keeping it moving.
Come
I don't
on, Mother
hold on to
Teresa.
stuff.
Come on, Mother Teresa, with it.
I don't hold on to stuff. I can't. I refuse to. I can, but I just don't. I don't know why. I just don't.
That's good. And okay, so now, Shonda, what you got to say about this one? Because we got Mother Teresa and Princess Diana over there. I'm taking it to the Lord in prayer over there.
Mother Teresa. I'm not, because let me tell you, I've done, I'm not perfect, but like I said, I will not. I just try to do right. That's it. Yeah. I try. Everything is not always right, but I try to do mostly right in my life. because then that's why I can sleep good at night.
That's
Right.
good. All right, what about you, Shonda? How do you vent? How do you allow yourself to kind of release from the crazy clients, the people that want to give us $2 for $1,800 worth of work, want to pay us in food stamps? Like, how do you? Because Monique is, Monique, they gonna pay for it because she gonna actually leave out the seat. But us, they still gonna try us quite a few times. So how do you vent or you release from the day about the craziness of what goes on?
Well, you just got to keep it real with some of them. Like, it's a tough position to be in because, again, you don't want to come off as being rude or disrespectful in any way. But people have to understand when you go to work, like you're not going to work for minimum wage or going to work to just get paid the bare minimum. So when you think about it, it's like if you're selling a product, first you have to go buy that product, and then I have to put the product together. But you want me to give it to you for what China is selling it for, but China is charging more for you to even pay to put it on the water. So it's something that's $5 that cost you $25 to get here, but they, it's a miscommunication, and I understand it because if it was me, I would say, hey, you could do it for $5 or $10, and we'll be all good. But when you look at it, you have to make sure that you, I say, booked and profitable. I don't want to be booked and busy.
That's true. That's good.
I don't want to be booked and busy. And it took me a while to understand what business I want, what business I don't want, who I want to do business with, who I don't want to do business with. You got to take all of that into consideration, and it's definitely a challenge. And know your market. Not all customers are good customers. And let's be honest. We some people come and you want to vent. And I know Josh, you and I, we talk a lot on the phone about situations, or if you recommend someone, they'll call and say,
don't blame me. Wait. Don't say my people. Don't.
You already know. It's the same thing. It's in every industry.
You call my people raggedy.
People in your industry would say, hey, I could go get it somewhere else cheaper. People in my industry would say, the girl down the street is doing it for $50 instead of $70. The person, doing event planning, she's doing this and that. Could you do it for lower than that? And I'm like, well, if I choose to, I choose to. But if I don't, I don't.
Yeah, because I know some people
it's just that simple.
I know there's some people who've come to both of us and they got an invoice for somebody else and brought the same thing to us and started listing items that they want. And we know this sounds familiar and they're trying to get a cheaper price, and I think that's the biggest part about it too, is how do you keep your value in your businesses? Because I think that's the biggest thing. You always have to find somebody doing something cheaper or something is. How do you keep the value of She Rocks Decor? How do you keep the value of Monique Techniques? Like, and let's go to Monique for this question. How do you keep the value without, because we all see it. Yeah. Instagram is full of event planners. Instagram is full of hairstylists. Instagram is full of chefs. And I'm like, fam, listen, y'all might get food poisoning messing with some of these people if you see what's going on in their background behind the ring light and you see the stuff that's not clean. So, like, how do you guys, stay true to yourself as entrepreneurs and knowing your value? And we'll go to Monique for this question.
Well, I let everyone wants a discount, and it's fine. I don't have a problem giving discounts or charging less, even if like a new client comes in, and I really don't care what no one else charges. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I respect a person if they just say, I don't have it. Can you, and I don't have a problem taking $20 or whatever off our heads if I see if a person really need it. I let them know that, I constantly get educated. I travel for these services so I can learn and keep up with these up-to-date hairstyles so I can service you to make you guys look good, and I let them know that, like, I'm not just a hairstylist. I'm a educated hairstylist, and I'm constantly going places and going to different conventions and taking classes just so I can stay on top. And I let them know that. And that's my price is my price.
One more time. Say that one more time.
My price is my price. And it's okay if that's what they. All right, well, I'm like, I'll because when the doobies were out, 15 whatever prices, but that they add that money on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to compete. Like, okay, that's not that okay. So I understand, but that's my price, and I say it nice and gracefully.
It's the grace. It's the grace in your life to give it gracefully.
Yep.
That's a really good point. So now on to you, Tashonda, with the same question.
Well, I take a lot of my methods from UPS.
Okay.
I was in sales at UPS for, I want to say, for 10 or 12 years. So, number one rule, you don't talk about your competitors and what they're doing.
Never.
You don't talk about them. They don't even exist.
No.
Period.
Then let me just say something. That's one thing in my salon, I've never, if I hear, like, if I, back in the day, because, with so many stylists, that's one thing I never allow. Talk about another hairstyle. I think that is so tight and tacky. Okay. And that's one thing I never, and they know, no, for real. My girls knew that. They just, because for what? You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything,
Right.
So that's one thing I would never allow that talking about nobody. Now you in the chair, the customers, I'm sorry, this was your sign. This was your time. But I had to say that because I had that a lot. They'll sit in your chair and they'll try to, and they want you to say stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
never ate debate on that,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a real good one.
Yeah.
And I think it's so mindful too.
I'm sorry,
And
Cassandra, cut you off.
but I think the biggest part about that too, which is a really good point you brought up, is you never know who's watching you as an entrepreneur. Some people are waiting for you to say stuff. They're waiting for you to act out a character. They're waiting for you to act a certain way because now they can classify you as, well, that place is ghetto, or they said this, they said that. And the thing about us, we're all Black professionals, so we can go to any community and give a super dope service. And you don't have to, of course, we're Black owned businesses, but we're always going to be professional businesses first. And I think the biggest part about just being professional is watching the conversation you have around everybody, because some people just say stuff not even realizing who's around. And I think that's the biggest part about knowing your audience as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Some people wonder why they never get back. Like, I go to a lot of people who have, like celebrity clients, and when I go to them, they say, Josh, it's like you're never here. And they said, you're so invasive of our space, and we always want you to come back. But the other part about it is too, they said some people never get back because they start posting our house inside their Instagram pages. They start sharing too much. They not, because when you're in these people, because we become in people's personal life, it just happens where we're in their personal life because they want to share with you, because we make them feel so comfortable. It's like, maybe I didn't want to know that, but okay, I understand you want to vent that. So we're like people's therapists in our field, where we have to console people when somebody has a baby shower, but then they might have certain resources. Tashonda has to handle that issue with Monique when she has to really kind of go with people what they've been through, because the salons and the barbershops they're like the gossip shop. So it's like, how do you really keep that energy out of there? Because you got to really create the space you want. As entrepreneurs, you don't have to just take what people give you, and I let people know all the time. I went to this one house and this guy was in this movie, right? And I didn't remember where he was, but my friend was like, yo, he was in that movie. So I said, oh, bro, I don't know if you're from that movie. He's like, oh, yeah, don't treat me like a celebrity, And his other brother came in and he was like, this like your interview. I said, no, this like your interview, because it's just like I get to choose where I want to go, because y'all money it hasn't been that long to even say that to me. So it's like I can make more money sitting in Jersey City. So it's just like, I feel like, I'm blessed that I'm at a place, and I think we're all at a place where we get to choose who we want to service, and I know when we all first started, it was more like, I want to act funny, but I kind of need this piece of change right now. So I'm not going, I'm gonna let certain things kind of rock with it. But going to the next question is now, because I know I like to travel. Like, I'm gonna be out. You can talk to me at 10 o'clock. I'll be at home, and then by 12 o'clock, I might be at the airport. So with your businesses, how do you include self-care into your life as an entrepreneur? How do you include self-care into your business as an entrepreneur?
Got blocked it off. You got blocked some weeks off, block some time off, and just make sure you giving yourself the self-care you need. So
Absolutely.
if it comes a week where I want to do this, I say, okay, I'm blocking this week off. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna take care of myself on this week. Or if it's this particular day or a whole complete 2 weeks, and sometimes that consists of you turning down customers because you already blocked that week off, and you get a phone call and you say, I apologize, but I won't be here.
That's so nice of you when you said it. Nah, so I had to have some mentees because some kids I gotta take. I'm like, listen, I can let JC, Shamar, Isaiah, and them cook that food. And then some people when they found out when they come on vacation, they said, wait, I thought you're not food. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. No, because I train my guys to do it. I don't always have to be there, So I'll get that's gonna be another question. So will Monique take that question to you? Because Monique be traveling, I'll be traveling. I'll be looking at Monique. She's in Jamaica, she's on another cruise, she's singing Beyonce on her way. You ain't gonna break her soul on her way to the airport. So,
Love
Mo, how do
it.
you include that into your business self-care?
Well, again, I have two awesome stylists today, Shadiqa White and Tamika Wright. And those girls run my salon like it's theirs. They respect me. I trust them. And so all the clients, when I'm not there, they got all of them. Tamika, they rock and they roll. And the clients always compliment them girls. They run that shop like it's theirs. You don't even have to be there. So that's why I feel so comfortable today. I always did, but today they just run it like it's theirs. And that's just it. When you get that respect with these young stylists or men, women, whoever, and they just respect you. You know what I mean? They respect your business.
Yeah.
You trust them. It's just a great feeling, and I'm grateful for that.
And
I'm
they're like
grateful for
they're
that.
like the bodyguards first of all, because I called there one time and how am I speaking to who's this? Max was calling. What do you need it for? Like they your bodyguards. But I think when you've done business for a while and you learn how to protect your peace, you do need a first line of defense.
Yeah, because a lot of customers don't understand. Like you're working. I don't talk over my clientele. I think that is the rudest thing, and my stylists don't either. We don't have conversations over our clients. It's just not happening. So most of the time when they call, they basically just want an appointment. You know what I mean? And they don't have to talk to me. The young lady that answers the phone can make your appointment. So that's why they do that, because it's just protocol.
Yeah.
Because
I
nine
want to say
times,
I was VIP. I'm like, excuse me, I'm VIP. I speak to Monique Smith Andrews. Let me listen. This is her chef. Can I speak to Monique? Because I'm like, man, like I said, I need that type of phone service,
yeah.
at Chef Jay's encounter.
And they're nice, aren't they
Mhm.
nice? They
They're
handle the
really
phone
nice.
very
Yeah.
well.
You're not getting that
And
far.
it's real basic.
You
But
know what you want.
some calls I do have to call back, and I will return your call. But some I don't like to stop each client and gotta hello, because it's just rude, and I just don't do it.
Right.
I try not to. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
really
it.
good. That's really good. All right. So me and Monique had this conversation yesterday, and me and Tashana had this conversation like 3 weeks ago. And the question was because remember, the new age business in this last maybe 5 to 10 years is you got to have goals, you got to have this out, you got to have this, you got to have this. When we started our businesses, it was like we were thrown in there, just like that, thrown in there. So how how important or what role does goal setting set in your business and your brand? And and Mo, I want you to give me the realness how we had it on the conversation yesterday, because I think this is stuff that people don't talk about. They want the cookie cutter answers, what seemed good, what seems real, when half of people that saying this stuff didn't really do that. And honestly, it's not really always real with what we do. So how has that played a role, goal setting in your business? But I want that same real answer you gave me yesterday, because it was so good, but it was so true. Because I've experienced, I know Tashonda has. So I'm gonna let Monique get the fullness, because this was a really good question. Answer actually.
So I got a phone call while I'm on here. So meanwhile, like I was telling John, I don't know if I'm first. You want me to go first?
Yeah, because I want that real answer first. I want that answer
Oh
so we can
wow, that phone call that came in, I can't hear you anymore.
wait. So what you're gonna do is hold on, I got you. You can hear us now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Okay, so Mo, exit and come back in. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get this call to question to Tashonda. So I said exit and then come back in. So leave. Let me text this up for you. So, I'm gonna text it to you. Exit and come back in. Okay, good. All right, so Shonda, take over this question for us. How important and what role did goal setting play in your brand?
It played a major role. You need goals. You need them to be clear, concise, measurable. Know your audience, and you need to set goals without limitations.
That's good.
To offer yourself room to, because a lot of the times we set goals, and once we reach that goal, we on to the next thing. We don't take into consideration that, hey, we need to tweak it,
Yeah.
rebrand, relaunch, reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So especially with today, the way technology is going,
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you rebranding yourself all the time, and you staying true to the foundation of why you started business, and you know, going back to those goals and making sure that you step by step, but without limitations.
I think that was a very good response. So the reason why I agree with you is I'm always rebranding. I'm always reinventing. Because the thing about it is, I think sometimes too is people expect us to be one dimensional. You're not just Tashonda, the event planner. People knew everything that went into She Rocks Decor. Because I know, because I'll be there with her sometimes. It's like, wow, Shonda, you really do all of this stuff. So I think that and most of the stuff that you have, you make it from scratch for people. First off, let's not talk about how I'll have the vase. The vase is in there. I saw this vase. I'm like, how did you do this? And then, she said, no, I made that by gluing this, doing that, doing this, and then wrapping around there, and then doing this. And I'm like, you did all of that for this person? And she said, yeah, because that's the quality I want for my business. And I think too is reinventing yourself an entrepreneur is the best thing you could ever do. Because think about when COVID happened. You had to revamp your whole business around. And I think the biggest part about it, even with my mentees, when I meet them in high school, the first week, I say to them, guys, okay, so what do you want to do when you get out of high school? Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. I want to be a basketball player. So what if you don't make it to the league? I said, so the first assignment I give out is give me a list of 20 to 30 jobs that you can do with your career or your path. Because I have so many friends who went to culinary school, and they dropped out of culinary school because they said, I don't be a chef no more, when it's like 48,000 other jobs in culinary that they're doing stuff now that they could do it in the chef world, and they could probably make money because they use a degree. So I definitely think rebranding, repurposing your stuff, revisiting goals is a very important thing. I do that all the time because sometimes money gets good, but sometimes that well dries out for that season. And now I got to think about, okay, cool. So like I can't be still selling meal plans after Thanksgiving because nobody's buying big pans of food. Okay, so how I'm saying Christmas and Thanksgiving are big pan season. So I know with January, I got to be creative with MLK holiday stuff. I know I have also Black History Month and Valentine's Day thing. I can't do the same thing for Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving because most people are busy around the holidays. So I always have to revisit things, reinvent the wheel, know my audience, know what my audience need, what they need from me. Because some people are here in business and some people listening that sometimes you broke because you haven't decided to go do different things and come back to that and revisit it in November. Y'all still trying to do stuff in the summertime when nobody want that. So I think revisiting that is a great way to kind of go over that rebranding. I love that response. That's so dope. Now, Monique, come on, give it to us how you giving it to us.
So we were talking, and I just said, Josh, I'm just gonna keep it real. I like I said, I know God had just been watching over me. Okay, they say He watch over babies and fools, but I know I'm not either. I'm not a fool, but I just do. Like I've never been a planner. My friends hate me for that. When it comes to Thanksgiving, I'm not good at planning. I'm just not good at it. I told Josh, I said, I don't even know if that's I guess that's what we call it goals, but for me, it's not in my head to say, oh, I'm going to do this by this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just would just do things. I've always just spontaneously, I just would do things. Even opening my business, it was like, okay, okay. My mom said, okay, you're going to do it with your uncle. Okay, I do it with my uncle. You know, and I just did it with my uncle. Like, it wasn't even nothing planned. It was just like, I seen the store and I'm like, listen, we're going. And it was like within 2 months, we were in there. You know what I'm saying? When I seen the store in the corner, okay, are they gonna go and go, do my own thing? It was just, I just go. I don't think. I don't know. I just do.
That's,
It
and
has
that's
worked
okay.
for me. It has worked for me. All that, business plan. That's the part I said I kind of regret, like doing the business planning and just doing things. I guess that's why, I have my little, I guess I didn't look at it as obstacles, but maybe it is. You know what I mean? It was. But today, after 40 years of doing hair, 35 years of being in business, um, I'm just focusing more now on the foundation. I could just keep blessing people. I'm
That's
not tired of doing hair. I'm not tired, but it's just I just want to do something different. It gets a little boring sometimes,
that's
but I love my clients, without them, I could not even be in business. So with that being said, I mean, I don't know what's in for the future. I don't know. But like if someone calls me and says, hey, you want to come over to Columbia Hospital? I have to, yeah, I got a space for you to take care of the client. Like I just go, I just do, and then I just deal with what happens afterwards. But so far, things has worked for me, even with the planning. My friends they fuss with me all the time because I just, like I said, I just do. That's just how I've always been. So it's hard for me to like now prepare for next year's fundraiser, or like some people they do like a year in advance. And, like I'm like 4 months, 5 months in, like always. It's not a good habit, but like I said, it works for me.
And I think that's the biggest part about entrepreneurship, knowing what works for you and what doesn't. Because for me, like I'm kind of in the fence. Like I'm kind of with goals, but I'm kind of with Monique on this one because it's something about like even this event right here. This was like, all right, I want to do a boot camp. What's up? Because what I realized too is sometimes if you never get up and move, you stay stagnant. And a lot of my clients that I talk to, and I'm like, I'm getting tired of here. I say, what y'all gonna do? So now what I do with my friends who are telling me projects they want to work on, I said, what's the date you starting it? Because after a while, I don't want to keep hearing it anymore because I'm like, you've been talking about this for like 5 years, fam. And you still in
Right.
the same place you was when I left
I
you.
don't think it's just no, there's some people that are more their structure and they like things, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. But it
Well,
doesn't always have to just go that way in order for things to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I
what,
mean, I don't know. Because
what I'll
Doc,
say,
we've been talking about this for months. What you wanted to do something, I just was like, all right, all right, all right,
Just
all
let me
right, all
know.
right.
I'm with it.
So I love you. So whatever you ask, I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? It's just support. You know what I mean? You gotta support one another. And I love you. I love your our talks. And hey, I'm here. If I can just help one person, I'm good. God is good.
That's what we're gonna ask Shonda.
but I was gonna say, I agree too, but um, I guess it depends on your personality. Um,
That's true.
and setting goals, not setting goals, because some people are. I'm a multitasker, but I do procrastinate. So sometimes I need to have it written down. But what I was gonna say is, you're right, both, because for the longest, I've been saying, hey, I want to get a space. I want to get a space. I want to get a space. And I'm looking for this particular space. Like in my
Yes.
head, I'm like, oh, it has to have this. It needs to have this. It needs to have that. Because I'm writing everything down that I want. And I'm sitting here looking like, well, the only way I'll get that is if I build something from the ground up.
Yeah. That's good.
Because there's no place here in Jersey City or the surrounding community that will offer what I'm looking for to be like a building um, that could be a multi-use.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's 1.5, $2.1 million to purchase.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you have that? I'm like, no. So then you go back and you say, you know what? And Josh, you and I talk about this all the time. Like, hey, I think I'm just going to get this location, and then I'll figure out the rest next.
Yeah.
Like,
And
let me just go into this, and then I'll figure it out next. And it seems like
Yes.
that's what a lot of people are doing now. Like,
Yes.
they're not setting goals and things like that. They're just moving because it's now or it's not going to happen.
yeah.
Right.
And I think you got to balance that part because sometimes you create goals along the way, because it's funny because Tashana, we've been talking about event space for at least like 3 years since I met you. But really, like, so what we did was these past few months, we was like, what you doing today? All right, cool. Let's go look at event spaces. And we made a list of them. We visited, we called them. And I think too is, but because we started moving, we got really good, clear directives of what we need to really alter to make realistic.
Right.
Because we found this one spot that was 6,000 square feet, was a really good price. He was able to do it, but then we got another revelation as going to this place about, well, no, this really isn't realistic for the spot because of X, Y, and Z. And I think I think the best way to describe it is on the job training. The best way I've learned how to be a chef, honestly, was not from culinary school, was on the job training. They told me all of this stuff about, Monte Burr and Roux, and it didn't make sense because it wasn't applicable to what I needed right now. So on the job training, what we do has really changed the whole way we really kind of flow with business. And now when I look at, we're all like really dope at what we do in our areas, and it's like we stay with business coming in because of one, we maintain the attitude of gratitude first off. Secondly, we're always learning and we're always learning new things. Like Monique is still taking classes and making stuff dope. And mind you, she could be like, listen, I got 35, 40 years in the game. I'm good. But she's always a student. So it's Tashana as well, too. Tashana will be taking a course. And when Tashana know the information, trust and believe, she gonna know from A to Z and back to A again and then back to Z again. And then she also know about elemental Q. No. So you didn't do L and you ain't do M. But the thing about, and I'm like, okay, Sean, just tell me what to do. I don't know what else. Like you may hang this here, But I think the other part I appreciate about both of you guys is you're never afraid to share your spotlight. Like even too, like I'll be on FaceTime with Tashonda doing backdrops. Like, how do I do this? And sometimes, of course, she's gonna call it raggedy the first time. She's gonna call it raggedy, maybe take a picture of it to share it later on, a year later, so we can talk about it. But
Chef, your raggedy days is over since I invested in Chef Jay's encounter.
and let me say about that investment first off, right? And both of these women are both investors into people. Instead of trying to talk about my raggedy backdrop, because it was raggedy, because I got some pictures of it that was just raggedy, and I'm like, nobody told me this. Instead of Tashonda just saying, man, his stuff is raggedy. What she did was she made an investment, and that was about, you spent almost like $300-400 on me. And we was cool, but not too cool to be just dropping money for somebody. She invested in a real backdrop plus 4 different fabric colors, and and that's not even talking about stuff I begin from storage unit. Like, so we up to $1,000 investment. But the thing about it is just like, I think what people realize, they forget that the water has to be filled in both cups. And I think with entrepreneurship, that's one of the biggest thing is we try to fill each other's cup up. Even a conversation like this, we're filling each other up and we're motivating other people. But like, y'all ladies give. Monique, she does this super huge that she says that this is her retirement year, this Thanksgiving feast that she feeds thousands of people. And when I first heard about the first year, I think I just donated some cakes. And then I started teaching, and me and Monique was talking more about it. And then so I said, let me help you out with some stuff because I got all these kids. Then I got wrapped up with Monique for like 5 years. But last year when I wasn't teaching them, I said, Mo, I don't know about this year. I don't know about that. But the thing
last year was the 25th year, and that was it for Monique Techniques and Mohair. But this year, I'm hoping and praying because I love that. That was beautiful. It just got too overwhelming for me. So I've been talking to some community people, and hopefully I can do a big collaboration on some like-minded, professional business people.
List it out.
that we could do it together. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not about me and it's not about you. It's about the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making them feel good on Thanksgiving Day. So if we can gather up about 10 or 15 people, let's rock out. Then I don't have to do all that work. Cause Josh, since the pandemic, you were gone. And then the last year,
I had
the
to get
last
out of there.
because
They wouldn't teach me faster with COVID. I had to get out of there, Mo.
you were a big help with them students. Oh my God. Because after year 20, because everyone always says, oh, you always say that. No, I only said it for year 20. That was my last year. When you said, I'll never forget, you said, I got you. I said, you can help me do this and that. You said, whatever you need, I got you. I said, for real, Josh. And I'm going to tell you, you definitely did it for those 2 years. But then the pandemic was 2 years. And then last 2 years, it was just like,
Tired because I did,
whoa,
I think I'm more. I think I did because I did 2 years in Roselle, or maybe 3 years in Roselle, and then 1 year in But that's
Middlesex.
Middlesex. But this is the funny part about it is me and Monique are on whatever how that was at the Parkway meeting me with cases of yams, cases of greens, and we
Yes.
transporting food on the
Let me
highway.
tell you,
And
you
Mo, meet
was
me on exit this.
definitely about it with that. Oh my goodness, you were a big blessing. But since you haven't moved on, and then I tried it, the year before last, and then last year was it. I said I
Yeah,
can't. This 25 years is it. And then I let everybody know. I let my some balloons go and everything, and I was a little emotional and everything because I was serious. Like that was it.
yeah,
But then I said, if I can, I told everybody, if I can get a collab with some like-minded business people, professional, not all about I and you and me, it's just all about just coming together. And it's still not my thing. I don't want it to be just for me. It's for just
yeah,
everybody. I
yeah.
want to be comfortable in that. You know what I mean? And because that's hard, when you're dealing with 10 strong people that have their own businesses, that could be hard. But we see what happens. If God wants it to happen, it'll happen. And hopefully, I hope it can happen. Josh.
I
Tashanda.
got a little rest this year. I got a little
Tashanda.
rest.
Tashanda.
It's people like you too, Chef, that makes that makes people like me want to get involved. Because let me
Oh,
say, if you wasn't who you were, I
We wouldn't be on this phone.
because I always got something going on, and like Sean, you
But
ready to
we
do this?
love you, Josh.
I
We love
appreciate you.
you.
I
And I
appreciate
know it whatever how it went, I'm happy. Like for me, like just I'm having fun just kicking it with you guys,
Oh,
right.
It's no perfect way.
yeah. The whole goal is to step out there, make it happen. So I got one final question. We're gonna wrap it up. All right.
Right.
What advice would you give your younger self who's thinking about starting a business? What's some advice you would give your younger self about entrepreneurship or life in general? Like what would be the advice you would give your younger self? Anybody can take it up. Who else want to take it out?
Save you some money, put you some money up, especially if you want to be self-employed. Because I didn't stay right away, but my stylists who come, they listen to me. So I wish when I was 19, someone could have told me that. You know what I mean? But it's okay. It's okay. Everything is how it is. Perfect your craft and just work under people that are professional and seasoned, that are successful, where you can learn from them.
Yeah.
And always educate yourself. Educate yourself in because they have classes on any like look at me. I'm any business,
Topic, that's
So,
true.
you guys, Chef. I know you have conferences, and I'm sure Shonda, I know you have your conferences and what you do. They're all over the world. They're every day, every
Yeah.
year, whatever. Where you can learn and just be better at what you do, and
That's
that's
good.
that.
That's good.
Save your money.
That's good. Yeah,
Treat
Monique told
people
me that as well too.
and treat people good too. And treat people good. Always have a smile on your face. Treat people how you
Right.
want to be treated. Treat people how you want to be treated. And be honest.
That's true. That's good. And this is not stuff that she's just saying. It's stuff that I know that she teaches me to do and other people as well too. And I think that's the biggest thing. When I quit jobs, I'll be like, oh, it's back here again. It's back to the squabble.
Yeah.
It's back to the ghetto. I gotta make this really work out here.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur not for the weary. All right, so Tashana, what's something that you would give yourself that advice to your younger self?
Um, I would say definitely invest early on.
Mhm.
Know exactly what you want to do, even if it includes you making mistakes. Just make sure they're not, um, I would say, bad financial decisions.
Mhm.
I think that plays a major role because I'm gonna say in the beginning I was making some bad financial decisions. So I would go back and reevaluate the things that I was investing in. But
Mhm.
again, that goes back to what Mo said: finding someone like-minded in the industry that you're trying to embark in, and just understanding and making sure you research as much as you can in that industry.
Yeah.
So that way financially it doesn't impact you. You taking the classes, you investing in yourself, you knowledgeable about the products and the services that you're offering, and don't give up, don't be afraid, and you know, one step at a time.
Definitely save your money,
Yeah.
especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, because you don't want to get 60, 56, 70 and have no money. Because, you can make a
Yeah.
lot of money, but this, especially in my business, you know what I mean? You got to put it away early, so when
That's true.
you do get 50, 60, whatever, something, you could retire comfortably. And that's what that's what I saw when I was younger. A lot of older hairstylists, like, it was hard for them to get on Social Security. So I said, oh, no, they ain't having this. Time to start putting
I'm
that
feeling that
money
at
up,
32. I'm
girl.
like, man, I need a break. So because I think all our industries are wear and tear body they wear and tear in your body professionally because we all
Yes.
stand up for hours and we don't feel it now. But now I'm getting older. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what Mo said to me. I see what Shonda said to me, and it's just like a lot of times too. It's just like even I'm learning to take care of myself more. Like I'm trying to juice more. And because I realized too, no, Jay, you want to live a long time. You want to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and not be
Yes.
tired. Have these different body sounds when you roll to get up out the bed.
Okay.
Like because
Huh.
they're real things, but it doesn't. It's real.
I
So I'm
went to
learning.
a little house. I went to a little boat ride thing the other day and caught myself jamming and saying honey the next day. Them ankles was saying where? And my niece was like, what happened? What happened? I said, nothing happened. See, I mean, I've been on my feet all my life. Shit. I said, this shit's starting to break down. My day was starting to break down. I had to put on some ankle bracelets. I said, this thing is real. I said, listen, 40 years standing on my feet, at least 8 to 10 hours a day or more. Like, come on already. So
Yeah,
I definitely feel it. But,
Yeah,
as
you
long as I'm
also got to
happy, I'm happy.
make sure you're wearing the proper shoes and stuff as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I do. I do, but
No, listen, I'm with you because it seemed like the amount of work I do in 2 hours setting up, I feel like that was a full 8 hour shift.
It is. Yeah.
hmm
No, because Tashana, you be lifting these throne chairs. First off, I don't know how she be getting them in the car because these things be like, I'll be calling my mentees like, yo, help Shashonda out over there. Like, tell her because it's just like, and I think I know my limitations. I'm like, nah, because I already know how my back is. So it's like, listen, I'm calling the help to do that part so they can really do that. They got that energy. I don't got the energy like that no more.
right, right.
And I think that's the biggest part about it too is like self care. Like, so we talked about self care, guys. Listen, if you need to get your spa membership, get your spa membership. If you need to go do cryotherapy, even too, Tashonda, we talked about we have certain high numbers of high blood pressure. So Tashonda handled that like. Listen, we and Shonda was fighting certain things for a whole year. Shonda's like, my thing is down now. I'm down low, and I'm like, oh yeah. So let me stop fighting with you. Let me just go ahead. But it's just like there's certain things. Take care of your health. Like for me, I know I'm
Yeah,
underweight, so that's the goal for this next. Like I'm about to be 32. Like Josh, you got to do more for yourself health wise.
yeah,
So I think that's the biggest part for me, where like you could be dope, but you don't be dope and can't enjoy it. Can't walk around. Got ankles hurting over here, ankles tickling, something like that. So listen, guys. If you first off, if you want to really connect with any of us to learn more about what we do, if you want to support our businesses, you can reach Tashonda at She Rocks the Core. She does super amazing stuff, and she goes above and beyond. So you want to support her too. Also, Monique Technique. She is the guru of hair. She's super dope. She has a nonprofit also called the Mohair Foundation. We didn't even talk about that today, Mo. With Mohair, how the story came about. and how she is impacting so many people who have lost hair due to cancer, alopecia. She makes customized units, like, you know, with your own hair. She has a salon. Did you have a salon inside the hospital? I don't know what happened to, but Mo just left. She like, I'm sorry, don't talk to me no more about none more stuff. But Mo's like, I'm out of here. Don't sign me up for nothing else. But she has a dope brand where she does a lot of work for the community, and we're just always trying to pivot and work on ourselves. And we just want to have this conversation for the first Boss Up Summer Series. I was like, Mo don't want. Mo was like, I don't want to get involved with no more of your schemes, Josh. Just get me over here. But I was talking about what you do with your business with the Mohair Foundation. Has so many different fundraisers throughout the year. And, you know, we all live a life where, yes, money is important, but helping people for us will always be more important, because God will always take care of you when you sow seeds into other people. So
absolutely.
if you want to connect with us, guys, you can connect me also if you want me to do your food. Now, let me say right now, beloved, make sure your budget is right. Let me say this right now, because we was graceful this conversation, but I'm to a point now I'm getting a little tired of people, so you might get a little another side. So that's just FYI with that one. Also, too, if you're looking for a coach, what they said was really important in the last conversation. Find you a mentor in your field. Find you a mentor. Find someone you can really trust to really help guide you in that way. Be open to critique and criticism, because you're not always right. Mo and Tashonda both will tell me if something is wrong. They have no problem with correcting me, but I value that because it makes me a better person. So get you a mentor, a coach in your field. If you're looking for another coach, you can DM me as well too. So this was a great, super dope session today. And listen, guys, the next one's gonna be in 2 weeks. Click the link in my bio. I'm so happy. Thank you, ladies, for coming on board.
You're welcome.
With all my raggedy plans at last minute, whatever it is, and just say
it's okay, Josh.
It's okay. All right, guys. We hope you guys have a great week, a week of integrity and prosperity. Reach out for help. Keep God first always. And just remember, the best is always yet to come. You can expect it and you can manifest it. And just jump out there and jump, because we jump it every single day. All right, fam.
Awesome.
I have a good day on purpose.
Okay. I love you. Bye-bye.